How's it going, everybody? Taxis Man here, back with another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you guys could please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys do enjoy it, subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit the bell notification button. Select all for all notifications so you guys don't miss out on future videos. Of course, if you guys have any movies or shows you guys want me to cover here on the channel, please let me know in the comments down below. Continuing, talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This is going to be my review of Season 2. I do have a review of Season 1 here out on the channel, and I will leave a link to my Star Trek playlist at the end of this video so you guys can watch all of my content and reviews of Star Trek related topics and stuff in there. So, if you guys have watched my Season 1 review, you guys know I hate the show. I hate the show. I explained it in like a 15-minute video, and I've explained it in other videos about trailers and such as to why. Now, you're probably wondering, does Season 2 improve upon what Season 1 started? According to Rotten Tomato scoring and other critics that have watched this when it came out in 2023, this is Star Trek at its best. No. No, it's not. Sorry. Again, we only get 10 episodes. Not a lot of time to be able to explore strange new worlds and seek out new life and new civilizations. Not a lot of time really to get invested into old characters and get more backstory in them, or get invested in these new characters that they throw at us. Before I go any further, I don't plan to watch Season 3, unless you guys want me to. So if you guys do want me to watch Season 3 of this show and beyond, you're going to have to tell me to do so in the comments, because I really have no desire. I just don't. Season 2 somehow erases the good of Season 1 and doubles down on the bad and makes it even worse. The show still lacks characters that I can care about and connect to. There is really no lore or world building. And except for like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, really, there isn't all that much of exploring strange new worlds going on. It's just like, hey, let's have a musical number and let's do a comedy special with Lower Decks. The show also still suffers from the fact that women are better than men at everything. Women just solve all problems in Star Trek in this alternate timeline, I guess. And that's how I feel like I have to watch Strange New Worlds. It's like it's an alternate timeline thing. Spock doesn't act and look like Spock. James T. Kirk doesn't look and act like him, really. Same thing with Scotty. Same thing with Uhura. It's got to be an alternate timeline, kind of like with DS9. It's like it can't be. The season is more of a sci-fi comedy, and it really does lack dark, serious, and moral themes and episodes. I mean, there's like some, especially for the finale, dealing with the Gorn finally attacking Federation territory. But other than that, it's a joke of the season, literally. You know, the season has some, but it would help if the season had more episodes. If literally 9 out of your 10 episode season is just comedy, that's a problem. Now, if you had 9 episodes that are comedy and your season is like 22, 24 episodes long, I probably wouldn't complain as much. I would still complain, but not as much. Okay? The dialogue is god tier awful. Spock ends up taking command of the Enterprise in one episode. It's one of the very first episodes of the season. And he's like, what do I have to say for the ship to go? He's like, everyone's like, well, just figure out what you want to say. And Spock is literally like, oh, we'd like the ship to go. Now. What? Really? That's worse than hit it. Okay? Why is it the people in this show talk like it's 2023 and not 2146? Okay? The camera work in this season is also bad. There's a lot of shaky cam and shaky flips that happens for no reason. and I just don't understand why. It's there for some reason. I'm very happy to see the Gorn I'm very happy to see the Gorn back. I'm happy that they weren't like this just one-off race that was introduced in season 1. It's like, okay, that was a cool threat. Bye. It's like, okay, they're building the Gorn to be like the new Klingon or Romulan or Cardassian or Dominion threat, or the Borg in that regard. So I'm happy. Some new characters are added to the show. I found them really irritating though, and some of them I just kind of wish were killed off, especially the new head of engineering. Um, you know, it just like the replacement for Hemmer, who died in season 1. She's an irritating woman that ended up being a teacher at the academy, and so she's just like I said, she's a woman, so she's better at everything than everybody else, and I just hate her. And she also talks really obnoxiously. I just like, look at me, I know what I'm doing, and you're going to have to suffer and get over it because this is just how it's going to be, yo. Like, oh my God. I'm not exaggerating, that's how she talks. Season 2 does make reference to the NX-01, so Strange New Worlds does make canon that the Enterprise show, Star Trek Enterprise show, is canon again, unlike season 1, which kind of like erased it, unfortunately. I'm happy that season 2 is like, okay, you know what? No, Star Trek Enterprise did happen, and the Enterprise that you're watching on screen here in Strange New Worlds is the second Enterprise, which would mean the third Enterprise would be in TOS, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of cool. The character, Unian's Lon, being the ancestor of Khan, I thought was kind of cool. They do this weird thing, though, with her character where she ends up falling in love with Kirk. And I thought it was kind of weird. I'm like, there's no way Kirk will get in bed with anybody related to Khan. No, that would never happen. Thankfully, they set up that Kirk's already had sex and has a baby on the way, which of course ties into the events of the original show and of course the movies. So I was happy about that. Episode 2 with the courtroom drama, I think, was probably my second favorite episode. It just felt Star Trek-y in that sense. Dealing with persecution of augmented people, I really liked that. It did get me a little bit teary-eyed. I disliked the episode where Spock ends up becoming human. Totally human. It was 50 minutes of mocking Spock and nothing else, unfortunately. There's this time travel episode where Lon, and who's chief of security on the Enterprise, and Kirk from another universe, they go back in time, and they find Khan. I don't know why and what the purpose of this was. Why did they race swap Khan? I just don't understand. It doesn't serve any purpose to the character or to the grand plot of the episode. It just happens. It's unnecessary. Why race swap one of the top 5, if not the top, villain of Star Trek history ever? What was the point? Because it doesn't play into anything for that episode. It doesn't play into the plot. It doesn't affect the characters. It just happens on screen, and you see them for all of like maybe less than 30 seconds. I'm just like, why? Like, it's worse than that Skybok tease in season 1. The crossover episode with Lower Decks was stupid, and it confused me. I've never seen Lower Decks. I don't plan to watch Lower Decks, and I shouldn't have to watch Lower Decks to understand a crossover episode with Lower Decks. The animation was just wildly contrast to live action. Now, like I said, I've never seen Lower Decks. I don't plan to watch it. If you haven't seen Lower Decks like myself, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to understand all these Lower Deck characters and like why they're saying what they're saying, why they're doing what they're doing. Really, it's just stuff is happening for some reason, and I'm like, I can't connect with these characters because obviously the episode doesn't give me the ability to have backstory or an emotional connection to them, sadly. So it was just weird in that sense. Last couple things. There's this musical episode felt like a complete waste of an hour, and it doesn't feel Star Trek at all. It's just like I get having a musical episode, I guess, but maybe you should save it for like the last season. I mean, even Once Upon a Time, a show that's like a retelling of fan favorite fairy tales, they didn't do a musical episode until the near end of season 6, and everyone's like, okay, season 6 is gonna be the end, so let's do one just for fun. Um, okay, the problem with Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is we haven't had enough time with the characters for a musical episode to work well. Okay, now the sci-fi logic that they put into the episode that explains why the musical happens is also kind of stupid and doesn't make any sense, and I didn't like it either. So I just felt like that was a waste of an episode. It should have been spent on something that is building up character and plot and world and universe. Again, the show for this season also has way too much comedy, and honestly, most of it doesn't work. It's very cringe. It's very 2023 comedy. There's also a lot of boring and predictable moments. I'd rather fold laundry. Like there were several moments when I'm watching the season, and I'm like, they should be doing this, and like literally 5-10 seconds later, someone's like, hey, we probably should be doing this. I'm just like, Guys, overall, Star Trek: Strange New World season 2, it is worse than season 1, unfortunately. Like I said earlier, if you guys want me to watch season 3 and beyond, I will, but I have no interest nor desire. Season 2 does end on a very big cliffhanger. It literally says to be continued. I might watch season 3 just for the sake of a video. But me as a Star Trek fan, I could care less. I just don't care. So, and again, we already know how Strange New Worlds is going to end. It's going to tie in with TOS, and we already know what happens to the characters of Uhura, Pike, Scotty, Spock, Kirk. I just, what's the point? Why am I wasting my time watching the show when I already know the outcome? So I'm going to give season 2 a 3 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and look forward to more content coming out soon. Bye, guys.